And I can't say enough good things about it. If you've used the Cuttlebug before, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a die, a cutting die. So this is the foam pad that comes with the AccuQuilt. And you can see there are a couple different shapes here. There's a large square, which is about 4 inches. There's a small square, which is about 2 inches. And then there are a couple different triangle parts over here that you can put together to form a square. We use that on our apron right here on the pocket. And we cut out 2 different fabrics and then sewed them together to make a little square. So that was handy there. But what's nice about this is that there's a lady here that does quilting, and she basically told us that there is no shifting of your fabric. This replaces the mat and the rotary wheel. It's just fabulous. You can also, if you do a couple different quilts all the time and there's a certain pattern that you always use, you can custom order these dies in a flower pattern or however. They're a little bit costly, but you can certainly do that. So let's see this in action. I have a couple of just layers of this American flag fabric. This is just scrap fabric that we used for another project. And I think there's about 7 different layers here. So the more fabric that you have, the better it cuts. I think it can cut up to 12 layers altogether, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna put that fabric down, and then there is a little cutting mat that you put over the top. And then, just like your Cuttlebug or any other die cutting machine that you may have, you just turn this handle, crank this handle. Very, very good for somebody who has maybe arthritis or you know, and can't work with the rotary wheel. So you just roll this straight through, pretty easy. And then when you remove your cutting mat, you'll have all of your fabric squares, and there are just a couple of contact points here, but pretty much comes out clean. And what's so nice about this, look at all the fabric that I just cut in one foul swoop. I think I had 7 layers altogether. So in our apron, we used that shape, the 4-inch square, to build our little ruffle. And you'll see that right here. And we just actually, this is the wrong fabric, but we just sewed them right sides together and then sewed right down the edge here. And then we had a seam, and then we just seamed the bottom so that you would get a finished edge along the bottom. And then we left actually the top side rough. You can see if I pull up this ruffle that top side there is just very rough. And then the way that we did the ruffle was we just did a basting stitch along the top of our fabric here. And then if you pull one of the threads, you can start to actually gather it up and make your little ruffle. So that's all we did to have that fabric to be ruffled, and it just is so easy to do. Now the other thing that we used the AccuQuilt for is for the belt portion of the apron, and you can see it sewn along the top here. So we use the small square here, and in a similar fashion we just cut out all those little 2-inch squares and just sewed them right sides together until we got the length that we needed in order to make a belt. And then we just seamed, just turned up both of the edges and then folded it in half along the top of our apron. So that was our finished product there. And then lastly, I said we had used this shape here and just layered our different fabric across to make the different little triangles that go onto the corners of the house here. And like I said, if you're not an expert at sewing, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to be. It's just a little seam here and a little seam there, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can certainly use your fabric glue. So after we got everything all placed and sewn on, we just did a quick stitch here to sew that onto our apron and then put our top ruffle over, and we finished it off with a little Prima ribbon at the top. And then along the sides, we were able to sew on some of these little fuzzy pom-poms to finish the sides off. And you can also turn up the bottom edge here and do your hem so that you can customize the length of your apron as well. So again, AccuQuilt is just a handy tool, and really helped us make this project quick and easy. Our apron project is all complete and made quick and easy by our AccuQuilt. As you had seen in our video, just a really great solution. If you're a quilter, it's very portable. It just folds right up, and you can take it to any quilting bee that you may have. Maybe you get together with some girlfriends and do some quilting, or maybe this is just a great compact solution in a room that is a spare bedroom in your home and you want to pack everything away. So the AccuQuilt we sell here at CustomCrops.com, this standard die comes with it, with the squares, a 4-inch square, the 2-inch square, and the little triangles, and your cutting mat. You can order customized dies if you want to, if you make a certain quilt pattern over and over again. Basically just eliminates any kind of error that would happen from fabric shifting and replaces the cutting wheel and mat. Just a great solution for any quilter. So hope you enjoyed this. The cherries again that we used were on the Hello Kitty Greetings cartridge. They can be found on page 31 of the booklet, and we're on the close option of your keypad. So if you're looking for detail on that, that's certainly where you'd find that. If you have any other questions regarding our little apron project today, please let us know at CustomCrops.com. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.